coach and friends. How do I climb blue ranks?
Hello. What's good, everybody? So, I'm tired as fuck. I'm tired as fuck. I didn't get to take my nappy nap. So, here's the plan. I think I got 2 attempts tops. I'm going to try to record a video. I have about 2 attempts in me to TLDR this Tekken talk. If I fail, I'm going to nap and try again when I wake up. That's the plan. That said, I've prepared, as you can see, a list of timestamps of relevant topics. There's a lot here. We're not going to go through every single thing, but at least this will help you if you want to see the original content. What else? And then this is a preview of the thumbnail. We're in good shape. I just got to get this shit done. Give it a shot, shall we? Content creation. Let's man, I'm tired as fuck. Let's give this a shot. Kenny thumbnails. You don't gotta tell me, you know. Anyways. Holy shit. Wow. Alright. So I'll probably hide chat because chat can be really distracting sometimes. But I think this is worth it. Improve your fundamentals? Probably not. Help you. I don't know. I don't know what special style's for. I think it's fun to have a friend pick up the game and just play with you for a bit. Thanks for the 30-minute Lidia video. Yeah. And luckily that video covers a lot of this stuff. So there's no need to redo it. Okay. Alright, let's try to do this. As usual, one take real quick. Wish me luck, gang. Crimson, thank you so much for the prime. How do I climb blue ranks? No different from the ranks before. Start to find out some things you don't know, some punishes you don't know, some ways of attacking you don't know, and push it forward. If you don't know what you don't know, probably watch some high-level players. That'll help you. All right. Jesus, can I do this? Intense. First try incoming. Respect you guys for respecting me. All right. All right, let's see. Hello, YouTube. It's VDX, and the Tekken talk for Lidia Sobieska has just concluded. So I sat through, watched the whole thing, took some notes, and what I have for you is an abridged version. These can be, well, these are long. It was a 2.5-hour stream, and there's a lot of translation of Japanese in between each line. So if you don't have time to sit through the whole thing, hopefully this little summary can get you through most of it. Okay, so I prepared timestamps, so if you do want to actually watch the entire thing, you can have these like key chapter points. Feel free to screenshot those if you need to. Let's get right into it. This is kind of long. I want to go quickly. So on screen, I have just the brief agenda. They wanted to talk about the 30th anniversary of Tekken and some kind of promotional topics they're doing. Some of it's cool, some of it's kind of whatever. They talk about the finally having a release date for Lidia. Let's just get that out of the way right now. Lidia Sobieska release date is July 25th officially. But if you have early access through the season pass, you can get access to her on July 22nd. These are all Pacific time, West Coast of the United States. Very excited for that. Lidia she was teased back at Evo Japan, and the trailer came out at a bit later. So it's been a while. But Namco tends to move a bit more slowly on these. It might be unfamiliar for people who are not used to their release schedule. In terms of actual live gameplay, they will show some. I will say that I did just do a Lidia review video based on the IGN guide, and that guide was actually really, really good. So this gameplay demonstration actually just echoes a lot of that guide, believe it or not. They do add a few details that I will cover, and they talk about the design philosophy and some of the lore behind building and creating Lidia. So cool stuff if you are interested in that. Otherwise, that video, which I'll link below, has the key technical details if you're like a hardcore Tekken player. What is interesting, last thing I'll say about that, is when they talk about Lidia, listening to the way they talk about how they developed the character is kind of illuminating on their priorities as developers. And I think it's interesting. Okay, so I say interesting because I come from the angle of hardcore competition, and it's you can tell in the way they talk about it how much they care about the casual experience, as they should. As game developers, you should. As a competitor, I obviously have concerns. Finally, they talk about the Tekken World Tour Global Finals. They don't have a location announced yet. I think they did lock down a venue, but they didn't announce the location here. Instead, they talk about the logistics. Okay, so 30th anniversary of Tekken. This is kind of cool. So as always, they have kind of like an art contest. But what they've done to kind of enable that and make it better, by the way, use hashtag Tekken 30th, is they're releasing official concept art stuff. You can see Lily's here. Her booty shorts are very detailed there. And they talked about wanting to do it for art and for cosplay. So I thought that was a pretty cool detail to offer just the people who are big fans, you know, artists, cosplayers, stuff like that. This is Yoshimitsu. This is really, really cool. Obviously, you could do like the new photo mode or things like that just to see all of these different angles, but kind of deconstructing like, you know, the armor pieces and all that. And in the past, they've shown like Devil Jin, like what it looks like under the jacket, stuff like that. So I think this is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of like just like supporting artists in general. So I think it's really sweet. They have these new skateboard decks, and all of these merch products that they show are like limited in number. So like they talk about some of them are cool, like Jin's glove. They have like Kazuya's glove. If you're not interested in this, you can skip ahead. But I thought, you know, they put a decent amount of attention to detail. They were talking about that these Kazuya gloves are specific to Tekken 8. Yeah, those. They have this Kazuya neon sign. Pretty neat. Wouldn't catch me with that in my room, but you know. And then they have these figures, and they were talking about how the detail for the price you get is actually pretty good. Like the way they detail the faces and the way it's printed. They show some of them live. Again, if you want to watch the actual thing, you can jump to the timestamp in the actual video. Around like 21. And then they're going to release Nina. Now, I might get myself a Nina figure. I can't lie to you. I'm a big Nina fan. I've been a Nina fan since I was like 3 years old in Tekken 3, okay? These gaming chairs are only available in Asia, so not that important. Let's keep it moving. All right. I think this is the last. No, they talk about some stickers. Apparently, these are very high quality stickers. And then some Tekken 7 artwork on the shirts. Cool. Merch, you know, support Tekken. I'm a Tekken fan. But now, they re-show the Lidia trailer. So if you've already seen this, you're not going to see anything new, except at the very end, they do show release dates, and they show her new costumes. Where are the costumes? Oh, I think it's after the release date.
If you have any problems,
am I tweaking?
Otherwise, we'll be.
Oh, here we go. So they show her alternate costumes right after this. So this is a kind of cool little edit. They just play her her intro. This is costume 2, and then costume 3. And then costume 4, which is the Tekken 7 outfit. So it's just without the gi on top, like kind of wearing it around her waist. So really cool. I'm a big fan of the alternate costumes and the way they've handled the release so far. I'm pretty excited for this character. They've done a lot of things to streamline her. I struggled with her in Tekken 7. Next, they showed a roadmap of the updates. So they recapped May and June, which was what we've seen with big balance updates. 1.06 is where Lidia comes out. They will have patch notes on July 23rd, so looking forward to that. And they won't be doing balance adjustments, just behavioral fixes. So usually if a character has a really broken combo or like a crazy setup on Wake Up that's unintended, they will take those out. They usually prefer to take out unintended behavior. I have mixed feelings on that. I understand it. I think as a developer, like you want your vision of the game to be realized, but I think it's cool having the players kind of discover unintended things and seeing who, if you can run with it without ruining the game. So I'm curious what behavioral fixes will come out of this. Obviously, we don't know, but reducing the scope of the balance decisions is something I'm a big fan of personally, unless of course Lidia ends up being a giant problem. What we've seen with Eddie so far is that even though they have really strong and maybe unfun things to deal with as the defender, they haven't been like competitively dominant, right? So mixed bag of results there. It could go either way. Looking forward to it regardless. Seaside Resort, a free stage. So this is new. In Tekken 7, you had to pay for the stages and the characters when they were DLC. The stage that they're releasing is now free. So I'm a huge fan of that. They talk about like the stage transitions between day and night. And then they add in the practice mode as part of the new photo mode that they're talking about. You can change the time of day in the practice mode. And I actually like this because I do thumbnails, right, for YouTube and stuff. They're going to deep dive into photo mode later, but being able to change the time of day is pretty cool. And then small other improvements, they are improving special style. So now they're about to demonstrate it, but you can do special style moves from crouch. So you can get your while standing launch punishes, you can get quick while standing punishes, and you can do full combos from crouch. So really cool stuff. And then they talked about Tekken Ball having an actual practice mode related to Tekken Ball instead of what it is now, where you get put in a regular Tekken practice mode while you're queuing for Tekken Ball. So nice little changes there. Tekken Ball is going to get real sweaty. I don't know how I feel about that. What they did next is they were trying to demonstrate some of the special style and demonstrate some of the mechanics of that, what they've changed, but they were having some like YouTube technical issues, right? So they kind of just fiddle around with different inputs and things like that. You could see a heat dash combo here. But yeah, basically they're live troubleshooting while they do this. Where I will jump to right here is the special style from crouch. So if you are interested in showing your friends Tekken, they are not really sweaty. You can see here that if you crouch and then hit square, which I think he's going to do. Please take your time. Thank you. That's the wall standing for. And then if you press the air combo button, she'll do like her launcher. That was kind of a big point of appeal, I think, of this demonstration. I skipped right past it. You know, the irony of wanting to rush ahead. Right? So those that covers like kind of the basics, the early You know, the boring stuff. People were here mainly probably for the Lidia discussion. And this is a significant chunk of the Tekken talk, which is great. However, again, a lot of the information was already covered in that IGN video, so definitely recommend checking that out. What I will say is, regarding Lydia's development, they talked about having 3 philosophical design pillars. So all these timestamps here, I'm not going to jump through all of these. It's just if you want to go through and watch it in order, right? They wanted to highlight traditional style karate, right? So very, very traditional. They wanted to highlight the beauty of the kata forms. Tetsuya Naka did the motion capture. And in regards to gameplay and philosophy, they wanted direct linear attacks with a lot of brute force that, and I quote, penetrate defenses, right? So direct, linear, powerful penetration. Lydia's design philosophy. So in line with that, they talk about her forward 2 being a very crucial part of her entire design. They say that this is iconic to her style of karate, the traditional Okinawan style, if I'm correct. So forward 2 and then forward 1 as well. And apparently the guy who did the motion capture for these moves was an expert at these. So they talked about he was apparently really good at these moves, and they did some tweaking with the motion capture or like the motion animation designers to really make it look good in a video game, because things that look good in real life don't always look good in animation. Other things they talk about, we're going to talk about the balance of forward 2 later, but just again, from a design philosophy, Lidia has all these stances, and one of them is the horse stance, one of them is the cat stance. So horse is where she crosses her arms, cat is where she lifts her hand, right? And both of them, if you tap forward, she can go into striking wolf. Again, IGN video talks about this. And then there's also the heaven and earth stance that they'll talk about later. That's like a heat specific stance. But they wanted these stances compared to Tekken 7 at least to feel more streamlined, right? So stances have been a turnoff for new players often, right? What they wanted to do is streamline the experience so a new player can play it. So you'll remember that with Eddie, he could hit 3-3-3-3-3-3-3. Well, they'll demonstrate later how Lydia's stances are kind of designed to flow into each other, where you can hit the same button and get good results, right? So, for example, that is just a 1-1. The input for the buttons are just 1. So she does forward 2, she goes into horse stance, hits 1. This is a power crush high that goes into striking wolf stance, and then she hits 1 for a powerful mid. Similarly, she could do forward 2, and then hit 4, which ends up being a plus frame mid that goes into wolf stance, and then she'll do a low. So they demonstrate these like mini flowcharts later, and it's not as ridiculous, I think, as Eddie's, because there's kind of clear start and stop points. But here we go. This is that exact flowchart I was talking about. So that's horse stance 1 into wolf 2, and this is horse stance 4 into the low, right? So both of those inputs are 4s. The idea is not that it's auto win, but that if somebody's trying to figure out the options they want to do, they can just kind of stick to more simple buttons, right? Let's see, other cool information. Yeah, and then they designed all of the stances to transition on hit or on block. So in the past in Tekken in the past in Tekken 7, forward 2 didn't go into stance on block, only on hit. And that created this kind of like, you have to react to the hit happening and then decide your stance transition. If it doesn't happen, play your next movement option. That's pretty hard for a new player. So I kind of support the decision to simplify that, if, of course, it makes sense from a balance perspective. Now, one of the biggest things that people are complaining about is that her forward 2 is +5 on block. And that you need to take into account, I think, and this is something they bring up as well, that she's forced into stance. So her options are pretty limited. She does create an RPS off the forward 2, a rock, paper, scissors, which is kind of crazy. But we'll look at the options in a little bit. They talk about her heaven and earth stance. So this used to be a readily accessible stance, kind of like striking wolf. But again, they wanted to streamline it. So you have 3 stances from like neutral, although technically striking wolf isn't a neutral stance. And they only give you heaven and earth when she's in heat. Again, they really wanted it to be really accessible to play Lidia, and I think this is their approach. Giving her 4 stances is crazy. Giving her 3 and then like a heat stance kind of makes a lot of sense, because you're going to want to use heaven stance. It's really, really strong. What else do we have? So I mentioned the flow charts of horse 1 into wolf 1 and horse 4 into wolf 4. Let's keep it moving. So as they start talking about forward 2 being +5 on block, one of the suggestions they make early on is jabbing against it, right? So we have a list of all the frame data for the cat stance moves based on Jacob D's move list video. So they invited a Polish content creator to actually visit the office, I presume, and work with Lydia's move list early and make content. So really, really cool. But this is an example of an interaction that I want to look at. So forward 2 on block is +5. If you jab and she power crushes, I don't think you can duck here because you'll notice that it says punish here. It's a little blurry. But if Lidia chooses to power crush, it's a high. Your defensive jab will get punished. However, the jab does beat every other option, right? So the support here that they give for saying that it's +5, it's okay, is that you can jab every option except the power crush. So it's not a Lidia favored situation, it's a rock paper scissors situation. And that's what Michael Murray is translating right here.
And trying to make the correct decision. So it's not like it's this one attack's gonna defeat everything.
It's not like this one attack's gonna defeat everything, right? Again, kind of pointing out to the casual base that there is a counter to this move. I think they may be missing some nuance in how these moves interact at a super high level. But just to point this out, this is the frame data for the horse stance. You'll see it in the IGN video again, so I'm not going to go into super detail. But the fastest option, aside from the armor move, is horse 2. And even at +5, you can jab her out of this, right? So her only other option for beating that is the low. I don't know if it'll counter hit launch a jab. That is something we really, really need to see. I wish they showed it. What happens if you go low or if you jab and she went low on you? Like, do you get counter hit or just hit? That's a really, really crucial detail. So I hope we'll see that soon. But let's keep it moving. So yeah, forward 2 is +5, but she's forced into stance. They want her to be going in. They didn't show the sidestep versus forward 2. I find that also to be interesting. They talk about it. They say it's linear, but they didn't show it, right? Something a chatter just mentioned is crouch jab. Actually is a very effective option as well, but she does have a jumping mid kick, right? So horse 3, she will jump. It's also homing, so if you try to sidestep, it'll track you. So you have defensive options, but it is a forced rock, paper, scissors. Keeping it moving. Counter hit forward 2 is a bit more obnoxious because that's when you start to get guaranteed follow-ups. You see here, this is that heat engaging mid. That is guaranteed because forward 2 on hit, +15. Forward 2 on counter hit is +17. So, really, really strong move regardless. And you know, that was their intention. They literally said one of the design pillars is that she should be using this move and that it's good. They talk about that, and then they also talk about running 1, which they showed earlier. So the complement to the forward 2 being a mid, they have the plus frame high. So they didn't show any tracking options between these two moves, so we don't know if the counterplay is just stand block or duck, or can you sidestep both options. I would be interested in seeing some deep counterplay available, but we don't know, right? So I think, yeah, this is forward 2, and then this is one of the flowcharts. To complement forward 2, they showed down back 3, right? So did I say forward 1? I think I meant running 1. Anyways, to complement forward 2, which they describe as linear and is shown as a mid, they showed down back 3. So this move previously in the last Tekken was just like a hell sweep, so you had to hit it up close to get a knockdown. Now it'll do the knockdown on counter hit, but otherwise, as you can see, it goes into stance. So I think these animations are going to be really overwhelming for new players. But if you see Lidia goes into horse stance, and she has these follow-ups. Nothing guaranteed, right? But it's +7, so it is a tighter frame trap than the forward 2 on block. Now, one key detail we were worried about in the IGN video is, does this low stagger, right? If you block it, does Lidia stop her offense? And the answer, unfortunately, is no. So you could see that the Lidia on player 2 side is set to block. And even when the hell sweep or the red tape is blocked, she goes into stance. Now, because of the frame disadvantage, you do get a launch punish. However, Lidia has the armor move, right? So I'm concerned about how beginners will be able to react quickly to blocking the low and doing a punish in time. We'll have to test it out. Obviously, from a balance perspective, they wanted to keep it launch punishable, which makes sense because a homing low that complements your monster mids is really, 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 really strong. So they gave it equal risk to match the reward of her other moves, right? So I do like that design philosophy. However, this is concerning for beginners. So you guys are saying more and more guessing on block. You didn't listen to me. It is launch punishable if you block it. The hard part is for beginners who might not recognize that they blocked it. So critical listening skills. I also need to work on mine. I misread your chats all the time. So, well, that's reading, not listening. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Okay, not trying to make fun of you too much. But it doesn't stagger on block. That is a slight concern. But in the IGN video, they said it's launch punishable. So I'll take that at face value for now, that you are able to launch it. You do get a punish. Okay. Those are some key balance details. Forward 2, down back 3. That's kind of like the first section. I should have split this up a little better. A little side topic is they talk a bit about the inspiration for Lydia's like design. They talk about the rage art. So if you were curious, the 3 words of Lydia's rage art are, the first word's people, second word is peace, and the third word is some translation meaning honesty or integrity, right? Languages don't always translate very cleanly. Yep. People, peace, and integrity. Neat. Harada said he was inspired by Lidia, I believe, on a trip to Poland for some tournament they couldn't name. So yeah, that's what Michael Murray's saying here. Not a TWT. That's at like 106.16 if you want to hear the quote. But he says, yeah, he saw, I think, a female karate competitor on like a poster or something, and then saw the dojos, and that gave inspiration. And there's been female prime ministers in the past, so I think all of that led to the inspiration for the eventual development of Lidia. Cool stuff. Back to the actual Tekken part. Here they demonstrate back 1, and here Nakatsu, bless up, demonstrates a basic frame trap. You know, this concept is so important for people learning the game. So you see back 1 is +2 on block, so he does 1-2-2 right after. That's a little alarming because 1-2-2 is launch punishable, but again, I guess if you're a beginner, you're not really getting launch punished for that, so it's no big deal because she goes into stance anyways. But the other cool thing he shows is back 1 into 2-2, right? So that's also a frame trap. Hard to interrupt unless you jab or power crush, right? So demonstrating a frame trap, pretty cool. One thing that was a bit weird to me, so he's showing a little sequence here that isn't real. Let me point that out first. Back 1, 1-2-2, you can launch punisher here, right? But if you decide to just block because you don't know that, she does a low sweep, goes into the next stance, and then this is like a knockdown low. Okay, so, you know, gotta learn your punishes. This is good. This is good. If you're panicking about this, you might gotta learn the game. One thing that is concerning about this demonstration, and I'm gonna turn up the volume for this, is they say back 1 looks really strong, but it's steppable, right? It's sidesteppable. I don't know if this is just a gap in the translation, but this is how they said it's very, very linear, okay? Extremely linear. I'm just going to show how he demonstrates it here. So you can see he sets the second practice mode to sidestep left.
Easily sidesteppable. So, you know, at first it looks like, oh man, this move is insane.
But easily sidesteppable, it hit. It hit again. So I was like, is it sidesteppable? Are they mixing something up? Then they clarify that it's sidestep right, right? Right, so it's sidestep to the right. But Michael Murray translates it as linear. I'm not going to fault him because he's not involved with the balance team. What was alarming, though, is he said linear specifically, and then when they demonstrated this, he said sidestep to the background. That's not accurate. It's specifically sidestep to the right. If you were defending on the left side, you would be sidestepping into the foreground. So little nitpick, but I thought it was important to clear the air there, just because you don't want to mislead people if you don't have to. So back 1, linear to sidestep right. They list linearity as a weakness, but you have to consider the whole kit. Does forward 2 track to the right? Right? Does running 1 track to the right? Down back 3, red tape obviously is a homing low. So yes, it has a weakness, but consider it in the context of the whole kit, right? That's enough of me rambling about that. Here's another interesting quote. They said, don't pay too much attention to the frames.
Everyone's just a little bit too much attentive to the frame.
Everyone's too attentive to the frames.
as we said, her attacks are very direct and linear, so that leaves her open to sidestepping a lot.
Yes, so they justify. My understanding of this quote is they justify the frames. He says people are too attentive to the frames, but remember that she's direct and linear and is weak to sidestepping. So my understanding of that quote is that he is he's justifying the frame advantage by saying it's linear. But again, there's a homing low. Yes, it's launch punishable, but you have to consider the overall risk reward of everything. So I can't make any claims on what's strong or not. I just want to say that please consider the entire kit, and we don't know the linearity of running 1 or forward 2. I'm going to assume they're more linear because of the design philosophy of Tekken 8 thus far. We'll see. But don't pay attention to the frames is kind of a it's a hard pill for me to swallow. Here are the flowchart demonstrations once again if you missed them. So Nakatsu is demonstrating forward 2 into 2. Again, this is really good on counter hit, right? So forward 2 plus 15. And then on counter hit will be plus 17, and that 16 frame mid will hit. This is forward 2, 1 into 1, right? So it's forward 2, stance, horse, 1, stance, 1, okay? And that move I think is chargeable. And then they have the next one, forward 2, 1, 1. Oh, they just show it again. And then they're going to do the 4-4. And then they're comparing it to Eddie's comparing it to Eddie's 3-3-3-3-3. They want you to have the fun of doing all these stance transitions without too much executional demand. But what's cool is I think at a high level it returns more to a kind of like mentally demanding thing to decide which option you're going to do, right? It's not as easy. As soon as somebody knows how to defend against it, you're going to have to pick a different option. So I don't really have a problem with this. I think getting people into the like high dopamine of Tekken early is cool. You know, maybe I'm fueling addicts, but let's keep it moving. Let's see. Heat mode strategy. So they talk about Lidia's heat mode. IGN covers it very similarly. What was interesting to me is the strategy that Nakatsu suggests. He recommends, as soon as you heat engage, immediately doing a heat smash, right? Now, if you know intermediate Tekken, you'll know that the heat engage is plus 17. The heat smash is 18 frames. Nobody in their right mind who knows the game is really mashing, unless you're a Yoshimitsu player hitting flash. Nobody in their right mind is mashing after they get heat engaged upon, right? Maybe they're ducking, sure. But this heat smash is not going to hit. What it's going to do is it's going to give you a guaranteed heaven and earth mix, right? You get 1 medal guaranteed. And that part's cool, but he says like it does a lot of damage. So again, paying attention heavily to the casual base that doesn't know frames might just get blown up. They want you to feel good as the attacker, okay? We have some stuff about the frames. Another quote I was kind of alarmed by was they talk about Heaven Stance's 3 options, okay? So the 3 options from Heaven Stance are that unblockable high right here. That's Heaven 1 plus 2. Another option, I don't know if they're going to switch options that show it here, is a Power Crush mid launcher. Nope, he's not showing it. If it's in the IGN video, it's in the official Lidia trailer. She has really strong options out of here, and they talk about it being a rock paper scissors, right? Lidia favored, sure, but it's up to the defender to make good decisions. You have to consider the fact that is the risk reward worth interacting with, right? Like if you duck and you eat the launcher, like that's horrible. But the high is unblockable, and if you look at the original trailer, the IGN trailer, the damage from the unblockable is not like ignorable, right? I don't even need to go to the IGN trailer. I'm tripping. Like look at it earlier, like 2 seconds ago.
Once you're in the heat state.
Once you're in the heat state, yes. All right, here we go. Do the unblockable, please.
If she's blocked, she'll go into.
Look at that. So that's like not a negligible amount of damage, right? So the health bar resets, so it doesn't look like a lot, but that's the damage it does from full. That's like 35, right? So that's like that's not an ignorable amount of health. Now people might make arguments like, hey, you're blowing your whole heat gauge, but we'll talk about that a bit later, like different ways to get into it. So this flowchart is kind of a beginner suggestion. Just make good decisions. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Here's some of the details about the Heaven Stance. Okay, so I deleted it at some point. Here we go. So Heaven 1 plus 2 is the unblockable high. Unblockable means it also blows through Power Crush. At 16 frames after a plus 10 heat smash, you also can't Rage Art it, right? So I also believe you can't parry unblockables anymore. So unblockable is supposed to be like you have to duck. The only counterplay is to duck. I doubt you can sidestep it. Now, Heaven 1 has a medium amount of counterplay. Like, we don't know how jab interacts with it, but you can parry it, you can armor it, you can block and punish it. Heaven 2 is probably the obnoxious one, right? Heaven and Earth 2, because at plus 10, this is a frame trap that you can't parry, you can't do anything about it. I doubt you can sidestep it because there's a 3-frame gap, and it's plus 6 on block, so she gets to keep her turn. So Heaven 2 is probably going to be something you see a lot from players who want to play it safe, but these options are really, really good, you guys. These options are really, really good. In the IGN video, we showed that the heat smash is actually really stubby. So like in neutral, it's actually like easy to whiff it. Like it's very, very linear. So that could, again, lead credence to the idea that she is a super linear character and her weaknesses should be sidestepping. Hence why she has a homing low.
So why is Heaven and Earth such a strong recommendation?
Yeah, so he's talking more about Heaven and Earth stance. You can watch the full details here. But this is what it really boils down to, is these 3 key options and the mind games around that. She does build up medals, an install system where they persist between rounds, right? So if you, even after you win, you keep your medals, right? And that's really scary. Oh, this is that power crush mid on screen right here. Let me rewind it. Right, mid launcher, only minus 11, full combo. It also spikes in the ground for a follow-up. Yeah, nasty stuff. She keeps her medals between rounds. It increases her damage and reduces the cost of Heaven and Earth in heat. We're going to go over that in a brief second. But the one key thing they wanted to talk about is in heat, again, leaning into that penetrative style, forward 2 becomes a reversal break. What is a reversal break? A reversal, they classify as, say, like a parry or a power crush. A reversal break breaks through reversals. So you'll notice they've set the Lidia bot to do power crush here, and they're just demonstrating it a few times just for the sake of, you know, expedience. Forward 2 doesn't really do much. Cool. Once she goes into heat, sir, thank you. He messed up the input.
He just messed up.
Boom. Right, reversal break. It makes that glass shatter sound. You saw that in the trailer. This is only in heat, thank goodness. But she has access to forward 2 reversal break, and then her 1+2, she has like a charge move that also will reversal break. Again, the idea that you will need to use movement to beat her or beat her to the punch. I talk about that we need to know how her defensive movement is, because if you have to contain her with attacks and she can move really well, that'll be really scary to fight against. Whew. Long coverage, but we're keeping it moving. We're keeping it moving. So I just want to show what the metal heat consumption looks like. So that's a heat smash, so that's not really a useful comparison. But if I go to 124.38, notice that when she goes into stance, how much of her bar she loses, right? So here we go. She heat bursts. She starts at 2/3. And then running 1 consumes like a little segment. I don't know how much a segment is, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a sixth. And then when she goes into stance here, it blows up the last half, right? So at 1 medal or 0 medals, right?
So using that technique,
because she starts at 0 medals, and then when she goes into Heaven, she gains her first 1, right? So that at 0 medals, she spends half. But you'll see that at 1 medal, it's significantly less, and it's by design. They've thought about how many interactions you get. So here she has 1 medal. She does running 1 that consumes a sixth. She goes into stance, and it consumes a third. So she still has 1 Heaven mix up here, and then can still use her heat smash, get her 3rd medal, and do 1 more mix up. Right? So she started with 1.
but on level 1,
and with the amount of meter management, you can get to 3. So she is designed, for better or worse, to be able to get to 3 medals very, very quickly. I think by round 2, right? I don't know if it's possible in 1 round to get 3, but you can get it by round 2 because the heat smash puts you in Heaven and Earth stance. Every time she goes into stance, she gets a medal. All right? And then they show a little bit of a damage demonstration. They didn't show what the heat consumption is like at the higher medals. I think the IGN video shows it. Metal sounds like Manon from Street Fighter. Yeah, but like, I don't know what else to call it. They called it like levels in this, right? So it makes the most sense to me because it's, you know, it's a known mechanic that persists. So enhanced state 3, right? Like that doesn't really give us much to work with. But you'll notice there's a damage difference. So at 126.10, they will show this little mini combo,
Level 0.
and it does 60 damage, right? So here's the mini combo right here. She goes into heat. Running 1 knocks down, Heaven 1, Spike, and then down 1 plus 2. Or, yeah, down 1 plus 2. So 64 damage. And then at 3 metals, that does 73 damage. Right? So that's not negligible. 9 damage. People will do combo optimization for like 2 to 5 extra damage, like pretty consistently. Maybe even 1 damage. Like Claudio's will do an extra jab before they do their running move. So 9 damage is significant. You have 180 HP in this game, 9 damage is significant. Right? So, scary stuff. Now, for counterplay, I think the rest of this, they just keep talking about heat state stuff.
Because you know that they're going to want to use the Heaven and Earth stance to get it that level.
Yeah, they talk about the importance of stacking your metals and then using all your other moves, right? They talk about the complement between forward 2 and down back 3 a lot. That's clearly the main gameplay flow they envisioned with her. Talk about Political Storm a little bit. That is not a heat engage launcher, by the way. So when you heat dash it, it just gives you a small knockdown. They demonstrate that earlier. So not much to be worried about, I don't think. Although whiffing in front of Lidia, guaranteeing her heat, does sound a bit scary. So maybe I'm speaking too soon. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. But yeah, they talk about Political Storm here. This is that heat dash knockdown, 58 damage. Kind of like Steve's Sonic Fang. You know, now that I think about it, Lidia and Steve have a lot in common, right? Like the heat state giving this weird like rock paper scissors that's like really damaging, and like you have to just duck it. Like that's the only counterplay. So yeah, it's weird. They talk about the counterplay to Lidia being a lot of stand blocking. Like they said, if you can't react to lows, that's okay. Just stand block. She has weak lows, right? Consider again the fact that the rest of the kit can be really strong. So they talk about her hop kick being stubby. They talk about down back 3 being, launch punishable even though it's homing. We'll have to see how the Lidia experts are able to wield all of her moves at once, right? Like, how do they deal with like tracking issues? How do they deal with like a keep out? How do they deal with like good defense? We have yet to see. Honestly, to me, it looks like a menace for beginners to defend against with all the stance transitions. And at a high level, it will depend on the tracking and, how they deal with that, right? People have complained about Reyna's forward 2 not understanding how to realign it. So, there's levels to it. And I think while it's important to listen to everybody, there are clear answers to things like this. We'll have to see how Lidia pays off. They say, by the way, if you forget any of this, just go to the move list, and the main suggested techniques are related to what they just said, right? So then they just demonstrate how in the move list these recommendations are pretty, like there's running 1, there's 1 2 2 into stance. These recommendations are in alignment with how they want you to play the character, right? At least at an introductory level, right? There's down back 4, there's down back 3 into horse stance, etc., etc. Now, that covers the Lidia stuff. Again, for more detailed analysis, please check out my IGN review video. Check out the IGN original video too. That one's really good. And then check out Jacob D's content. He did like a move list analysis and then some gameplay as well, both between him and another player, and then like ultra hard AI. So good stuff. Keeping it moving. Photo mode. This photo mode is exciting for me. I'm a content creator, I need photos. So they show here it's in practice mode. So if you didn't see at the bottom there, photo mode is down here in the bottom left. YouTube, hello. Photo mode in the bottom left. What he's doing is he's setting the opponent, the bot to mimic, right? So he sets the bot to mimic just so he can control both of them like this. If you don't have 2 controllers, is what he was saying. And then he just sets up like a pose, like Lidia will go into her horse stance and Jin will go into Zen stance. So that's kind of cool, little. And they're both doing karate. They obviously planned this out in advance, but that's pretty sweet. And then you'll see that he enters photo mode, and then there's just a ton of settings, and it's actually really robust. I'm really impressed with this this feature so far from what I've seen. It says speed up. I don't know if that means speed up the camera. I'm assuming that means speed up the camera, but they have tons of settings. You can set the camera to focus on player 1. You can set the camera to focus on player 2. You can set like filters, vignette, white balance. There's like a ton of options. It's like a pretty robust mode. It would be cool for me to see this in like a replay system. Like, can you go into a replay and capture using the photo mode? I doubt it, but that would be really cool. Also tons of lens types, things like that. So sweet stuff. I'm sure a lot of people will have a lot of fun with this. I'm not a photographer, so I'm actually really bad at using any of these settings. But I think it's pretty cool. They also have like a thing where you can like splash water on the screen. I don't know what that's about. Screen effect, bloom. Yeah, tons of settings. Feel free to check out the demonstration for more detail. Yeah, really, really cool. And then you can turn off like hit effects. You can turn off the hit effects like high, middle, low. You know, like the big text that pops up right here. So if you do like an action sequence, turning that off, effects display, here we go. You can turn off the HUD, control guide, stuff like that. And then when you take your screenshot, it's sick, even if something is hitting, right? Steve's getting the shit kicked out of him. And yeah. And then they're also doing a photo mode contest. So related to the actual fan art, you can do photo mode. And then you'll notice, wait, what's Lidia wearing here? That's not currently in the game. My favorite part of the showcase, they showed the new summer wear. So they show Lars in whatever he's wearing, and then Elisa in the new like swimsuit thing, which is pretty cool. They do like one move and they show another character. They jump to Lily immediately, I believe. Lily versus Hwoarang. And it's not a preset. It's important to note, like, look at this real quick. When they do the quick select, it's a custom. So it's going to probably be a paid thing. It's not going to be available in tournament, right? You have to actually make a custom, color it, whatever. So that's a bit of a bummer, but I do wish they had a way to do customs in tournament. That would be really cool for a guy like me. Anyways, swimsuits are pretty sick. Lily looks pretty good. Elisa looks pretty good. Then they do Eddie and Nina. Nina looks pretty good, you know. I think this is pretty sweet. So I'm going to play the whole intro. It's pretty cool. You know, this is like, it makes sense now that I guess they waited for summer, right? But I was surprised they didn't do it sooner, considering, you know, Azucena and all the Azucena's costume 4 and things like that. And then they show some of the photo mode with Nina. They said Panda doesn't have a swimsuit. That seems kind of bigoted against animals. New fight pass. Finally, people have been asking for the battle pass sooner, which surprised me because I thought people hated the battle pass, so I couldn't tell what people wanted. And I think they even said that in the actual discussion. But what I do know is they give you 100 Tekken coins with the free tier, so even if you don't buy anything, you get some Tekken coins. Obviously, kind of like a gotcha thing. Like, you know, if you get started, you're more likely to buy it. So it's whatever. Hopefully, the rewards are better this time. I was not too excited by the rewards last time. Looks like it's more poses for your profile. We'll see. Let's see. Then after that, they talk about the Tekken World Tour Finals. So no details about the actual venue, just the logistics. By the way, if you've been enjoying this, if you don't care about the rest of it, let me know in the comments if you think I messed something up. Let me know if you like this kind of content. I try to keep it as quick as possible. I'm failing miserably. Here we go. So this is the format for the Tekken World Tour Finals. All right. Global leaderboard is 20 people qualifying from there, and then 15 from the regional leaderboards, just the top one from each region, right? The timelines are different too. The global leaderboard qualifying period ends October 6th. The regional one ends a bit sooner, September 15th. They've made some changes to the format. Controversial for some people. I understand their rationale. I don't have a strong opinion on it. Let me explain. So now it's a 4-day event. It used to be a 3-day event. And they're filtering into the finals a bit more differently. So the global leaderboard is going to have a round robin of 4 groups. Each group has 5 players. 8 will qualify, so 2 from each group, right? The 2 best. Same with the regional leaderboards, 2 from each group. There'll be 3 groups. That leads to 14 people, meaning the last 2 come from the LCQ. LCQ, last chance qualifier. At the venue, they have a final tournament to give you a chance to qualify for the finals. Double elimination tournament. What decision they've made that seems controversial is this filters into a day 4 bracket with a winners and a losers side. So if you qualify through the regional leaderboard or the LCQ, you start day 4, assuming you make it out of day 1 to 3, you start day 4 on the losers side. Now, their rationale was they wanted to incentivize or they wanted to reward people who traveled the world, right? It's really expensive to travel the world. It's really tiring, exhausting. If you are qualifying through the global leaderboard, they want you to be rewarded with the winner's side, right? I think that rationale makes sense. I don't know how I feel about it as a player, but I do agree with rewarding the people traveling the world somehow, right? There are people who qualify, who are going to qualify staying in their home country. There are people who fly last minute and just win. Rewarding the people spending all their time, money, energy, going around the world through the whole year makes sense to me conceptually. I don't have a good solution. I don't understand all the sides of the argument very well, but that's what it is. Tekken will be at EVO. So record entrance, they will have 16 stations with the new build. So you can try Lidia there, and they'll be live streaming, I think, for the Japanese audience. And finally, we get Lidia on the main menu. I'm a simp, bro. I think this shit is really cool. I'm really excited for this. Now, they did mention people have asked for being able to put your own character on here, and I would like that too. They said the reason they don't have that yet is they want to take a close pass on every character's facial animations and make sure it's like super solid for this presentation, right? So I think down the road they are going to let us pick our own character for this, and I'm really excited for that personally. Yeah, but like lighting, animations, everything has to be so precise, and that's what they're waiting to do. But personally, I think it looks really good. I think she looks really good. I hope I can play her. They apparently made her easier, right? So I hope that I can play her. But yeah, I think this is pretty sick. So hopefully, quick 45-minute rundown of a 2-hour stream. Hopefully I did all right. Please let me know in the comments if I messed up or missed anything. Please let me know if you want to see more of this kind of coverage. If you think I could do it better, I'll take suggestions too. Subscribe for more. Catch you in the next one. Look forward to Lidia on June 22nd, if you have the season pass, or June 25th for everybody else. Thanks so much, you guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace. July! Ah!
結構やっぱり一番目にするところかつ品質高く見えるので、アートディレクターが本当にライティングとかをこだわりつつ、フェイシャルもアニメーターがしっかり見ながら作ってます。
It's okay. It's not a big deal.
モデルはゲームモデルそのまま使ってるんですよね。
母さん、英語話させて。みんな日本語喋れないから。
I don't know if the July made it in. If the July made it in, that's funny. But I actually hit the button, so we'll see. Let's see. Oh my god. Hello YouTube, it's FDX. Yeah, if you think I could do it better, I'll take suggestions. If you think I could do it better, I'll take suggestions too. Thanks so much, you guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace. It didn't say July! Hello YouTube, it's FDX. Fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Fuck you guys, I'm not recording that shit again. Shit was exhausting, man. I'm gonna message my editor. Nobody's awake, bro. It's 1:40 a.m. Do it via Twitch editor? I don't. So my editing software is on a different laptop. So the process of actually editing it is fucking ridiculous. Are any of my editors awake? I'm so mad. Oh my god. Why did they name 2 months with the J next to each other, man? May, June, July? Fuck July. Oh my god. Don't edit it. Let them be confused. Yeah, free comments and shit, you know. It's fine. It's fine. It really does not matter. People know the release date. I'm sorry, I meant July in the description. You just have your editor put why. So like, the thing is, this shit is like time sensitive. Like this kind of coverage is really time sensitive. Where's my music? This kind of coverage is really time sensitive. So if you like, delaying it is not the answer. For such a small mistake, it's not worth it. Are you joined? I did like the perfect video and then I said June instead of July at the end. Yeah, no, I'm just sending it. It's not worth it, but does YouTube still have annotations? They took that shit out. It's fine. Fuck it, free comments. Yeah, that's the way to look at it for sure. Oh, I don't know if I can stream. I don't know if I can stream much longer. I'm already so tired. I can't believe I fucked that up, first of all. God, I'm ass, man. Shit. Okay, I'll stream a little longer. I still have to fix this thumbnail, so. Fixing thumbnail AMA. We'll chat a bit. It's weird. Like, I feel like Twitch pinned messages need an overhaul. Of all the things to misspeak, it's the least impactful. No, exactly. It's funny. You ever gonna come fight with your Discord? Yeah, eventually, bro. But I barely get to play the game. I spent like 6 hours today talking about Lidia. That character's not even out yet, man. Do you know how annoying that is? Like, all the best players in the world are practicing. Where on the screen do you look when you're fighting? Oh, wait, there's an ad running. Alright, I'll wait. Sorry. My region doesn't get ads. That's kind of fire. Doing my part. What's up, Angel Soph? Did you watch Dojin beating Tone's ass with Lily? No. I should watch that, huh? That's probably really good. Forward 2 with Reyna like 20 times. Do you have any plans to stream 2xKO? What is COTW? Oh, let me thank people. I'm sorry. A bunch of people were really generous while I was recording.
Foreman gets paid.
Boardman1, thank you for the 3 months. Nami Tora, thank you. Code Red, thanks for the resub and the raid. And Crimson, thanks you guys. SNK game? Oh. Probably not. I'm really bad at 2D games and I have 0 experience in SNK games. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to do that, I don't think. Dropping Lars? You playing Lars? Steve and Lidia makes more sense, I think. You want to set against Landon ranked? Hell yeah. At what point do you think coaching becomes useful? Coaching becomes useful when you're stuck, I think, and you really cannot drive your own development anymore. What DLC crossovers would you want? I don't know. At this point, I don't know anymore. I feel like the more Tekken 8 exists, the less I have a character. The less I have, like, a character for me. So I don't know what to expect, to be honest. I don't know what to expect and what to want. I feel that my needs are low priority compared to the needs of the Tekken community. And that's okay. Where on the screen do you look when fighting? Oh, thank you. You look at your opponent 99% of the time. And then the other 1% is like if you're doing a combo, you can look at yourself probably. Or if you're doing like you can look at the health bars for a bit, you know, like stuff like that. That's when you can look away from your opponent. Nina Williams. Yeah, I might explore Nina. Are you learning Yoshi? So I will, but it doesn't make sense for me to do it right now when Evo's right here. So I played him in tournament and I got shit on, understandably. I got understandably shit on, and I was like, okay, yeah, I should probably keep optimizing my other characters. Did you look at the bracket on stream yet? I might have to change it because I have some like sponsorship stuff that I need to show up for. So I'm asking them to move my. I'm hoping they can move my pool because I don't know what I'll do otherwise. Lily or Steve at Evo? I play both. Damn, this shit is good, bro. Super ugly custom. Hello YouTube, it's VDX and anniversary of Tekken and some kind of promotional topics they're doing. You can have these like key chapter points. Feel free to screenshot those. Anniversary of Tekken and some kind of you can have these like key chapter points. Feel free to screenshot those if you need to. Let's get right into it. This is kind of long. I want to go quickly. So, on screen, I mentioned the detail. They're a big fan of it. So, I think kind of like an art. As a competitor, I obviously have venue, but they didn't announce the location here. Instead, they talk about the logistics. Okay. So, 30th anniversary of Tekken. This is kind of cool. So, as always, they have kind of like an art contest. But what they've done to kind of enable that and make it better, by the way, use hashtag Tekken 30th. And this is a time of day is pretty cool. Is now for Imprender. They haven't will come out of this. Obviously, we don't just kind of up on Wake Up, which was what we've way they've and then costume 4. Oh, here we go. Cool. This you're not gonna see anything new except at the very end. They do show release dates and they show her new costumes. Where are the costumes? Oh, I think it's after the release date. This shit does not sound like Twisted Scream. Am I tweaking? It doesn't? Oh, this isn't. This is the Asura remix. They show her alternate costumes right after this. So this is a kind of cool little. You get for the radio. Cheers, bro. Her, I've watched your videos. I've tried everything to get better at breaking grabs. When you break consistently, is it because you're expecting? No, it is straight reactions. You have to really train it. I spent a lot of time training grabs as like a kid. I was a nerd. It's not expectation. In fact, expectation I think makes grab breaks worse. It's straight reactions, unless you're fighting King. Then it's stupid. And then costume 4, scope of the balance decisions is so time of day. Tekken talk happened, yeah. I'm uploading the YouTube video right now. YouTube technical issues, right? So, ball having an actual practice mode ball, shooting crowd. So those that covers like they are not really sweaty. You can see here that if you crouch and then hit square, which I think he's gonna want to go through and watch it. And this is a significant the irony of wanting to rush ahead, right? So those that covers like kind of the basics, the early. Anything good at Tekken Talk? Stuff. People were here. If you watched the House we launch, I think if you watched the IGN Lidia guide, then no, it honestly covered most of everything. I think the interesting thing was seeing how the developers talked about Tekken, right? Like I think the way they talk about Lidia's kit makes it very clear how they prioritize, I think, the beginner experience very heavily. I think that's really important to think about. And it was, I'm not like hating, it was just an interesting way to see how they look at the game by the way they talk about it. And given it was translated, but you know, I think Michael Murray generally does a good job translating. So for that in a brief second, comparison, but 3 Storm, that's like, check out the IGN original one. There's 1, 2, Lidia 2 deep dive. These recommendations are in alignment with how they want you to play the character, like a move list analysis and then some gameplay as well. You know, YouTube, hello, photo, just so you keeping it moving. Photo 3718 photo mode. Got you, man. Assuming that means speed. You're doing well, system? Mr. Like main man. And in the new like swim. Notice, wait, what's Lidia wearing here? That oh, they have swimsuits too. That's kind of a big one. That one was kind of big, actually. Look at this shoulder. You know, I think this is pretty sweet. So I'm gonna play the whole intro. It's pretty cool. Damn, he kicks the gun. I didn't notice that. It makes sense now that I guess they waited for summer, right? But what people wanted. They said Panda doesn't have a swimsuit. That seems kind of bigoted against animals. New fight. New fight pass. You will not dedicate 1 hour to enter photo mood and select swimsuit Lily. I would not do that on stream, bro. Come on. I would admit if I did it off stream, but I would not do it on stream. Does that make sense? This many people like I wouldn't subject you to it, but we can laugh about it together. As possible. I'm failing miserably. 42 and EWT 2024. God, the main menu looks good. Understand. Tekken will be at Evo. So record entrance, they will have 16 stations with the new builds. You can try Lidia. I'm a simp, bro. I think this shit is Tekken will be at Evo. So record entrance, they will have 16 stations with the new builds. You can ask this new fight build. They didn't show streaming, I think, for the Japanese fight pass. And finally, we get Lidia on the main menu. I'm a simp, bro. Feels like forever since we got Eddie, yeah. It's time. We're uploading the video. Checks complete. Good shit, team. I watched a movie today, which is why I didn't take a nap. Lidia baddie hikey, I know, right? The reason I didn't take a nap, why is this quality so poor? Probably because I was uploading. There's that movie with, have you guys heard of Fly Me to the Moon? Not the song. It's a movie with Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson. It's about Apollo 11. I actually really liked it. I really liked that movie. Really, really liked that. Okay. Tweet the video. They should announce Roger Jr. Fuck you. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Time to comment July, bro. Yeah, my fault, bro. Audio's so fine. I need to find myself an Italian man. You got that. You can do it. I believe in you. Excellence. Yeah, I think if Bob came out, Ulsan would go so crazy. That shit would be cool. Every time I look at the screen, Shine is losing. I need to watch and see what happens. I didn't mean that in like a hateful way. I was just that's just an observation. I'm tired as fuck. I didn't mean it, you guys. I'm sorry. Back one is so good, man. Lydia, Jesus. Lily back one. Oh my god. See, I need to start sidestepping like that. He ate a sidestep 4 and then stepped it to the left like it was nothing. Oh, that's the shit I need to do. That shit was nasty. Are you East Coast or West Coast? Neither. Mid Coast. I saw you add lots of other combos in your arsenal. For who? Lily? Or which character? Who's your prediction for who's winning Evo this year? Strong contenders besides yourself. Hey, I appreciate that. I have no idea. It's really hard to predict. I think if Atif goes, he's probably the strongest right now. Atif and Ulsan are so scary. Just off the top of my head. Surely like it could be more, but I don't want to leave people out, obviously. Joka like is a menace. Yeah, shit, bro. It could be crazy. It could be crazy regardless. Why do you want Lucky Chloe? I don't. Lots of Lily combos. I don't think I've changed my Lily combos. My Lily combos are very... Which combos are you thinking of? I'll like check it out real quick. But my Lily combos... So when I first started playing Lily, I had a lot of fun exploring her combos, right? So that was kind of my initial reason I like locked in the character. And when I was doing her initial stuff, I really wanted to find like stable combos for everybody. And I've been using the same one since. I haven't really changed my combos. The Matterhorn combo? Like that's just the same as the Matterhorn combo is the same as Wall Rising 2 one, I think. My favorite Yoshi stance is the basic one, like standing. No sword stance actually is pretty good too. I like no sword stance, but I don't like his crazy shit that much. I just like hitting the ee-oh and the super flash. Actually, I like normal sword stance a lot too.
Lily. Kazuyamishima.
Okay, let's see. My Matterhorn combo, I don't even know if I could do it on controller. I'm on controller right now. We'll see if I can do it.
Get ready for the next battle.
When is Lidia officially out? July 22nd for early access, 25th for late. So I do this. That's just the basic combo. It's the same thing for this. Yeah, same combo. Nothing crazy. The combo that I like came up myself is this. Came up with myself. No, I don't see Lily players do this combo at all. And I don't know why. I did drop it in tournament a few times, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth learning. Like, let me do it on stick. Oh yeah, the combos I gave Lily Pichu are easier. Not that she can't do it, but it was like I was trying to teach her more of the game sooner, right? Here, look at this. So the standard Lily combo is not that. Chikarin's Lily combo for hop kick, for example, is this. And it's really stable in tournament, but it does 68 and it's like really far carry. So on a small stage, you lose damage. I really like this combo and it's not that hard. It does have two do cancels and you only get one more damage, but where it really shines is on walled stages. So like if I go here, for example,
get ready for
my favorite K-lever, Neo. That's what I'm playing on right now. It also depends on the Tekken that I play. In Tekken 7, I like the knee premium. So like here, if you do the Chikarin combo, you get way less damage. That's 75, right? But if you do the other combo, the FDX combo, oops, and you don't fuck it up. That's the one problem is like there are points of failure. That's 80, right? So like 5 more damage is really worth it, even without a do cancel. It's just forward 2-3, which is really doable. And then you get like 1 more damage if you do back 1-4. So I don't know why Lily players aren't doing this. I might talk to them about it and ask. Alright, so you get 81 off that. And like, I think 6 damage is really worth it. I think it's really worth it. Why am I lagging, bro? I mean, my computer's been running forever. Any kind of teaser for the content we can expect after Evo? More characters. Yeah, see, the thing is, I don't consider this, like, super droppable. Like, I'm not warm, right? So, like, that's a big issue, but... Oh, my God. Like, that's, like, I consider that, like, kind of a basic... a basic Lily combo to do. For people in tournament. I think it's worth it. I think it's super worth it. You can obviously do something like this. Yeah, you just lose so much damage. Especially if you do something like this, you lose a lot of damage. Oops. That's not the combo. This is like the Lily staple I was taught. And I was like, I feel like you lose so much. 70? Like when I drop this combo, it feels like a practice issue. It doesn't feel like a it doesn't feel like a standard hard combo. It feels like I didn't practice enough, you know? Yeah. That shit's cool. If you go into heats, that's something also to consider. So 75, right? $80, so it's still 5 more. One thing that is cool is like, because of the nature of this combo, you can do multiple do cancels if you're not on a shitty axis. Right? And you get 85. Like, it's so much damage, man. It's so much damage. So like, to me, I think it's worth it. The up 3-3 is a bit awkward. What I do for this combo when I up 3-3 is I sidestep right and I actually hit back to get farther away from the opponent. So on player 1 side, it's kind of easy because you can just hit down and then up 3. But on player 2 side, you can't do that. Right? So on player 2 side, you have to hit back. Because if you hit up twice, right, to sidestep right. I'm autopiloting the back, which is good. You just get standing 3 because you get like, she tries to like sidewalk and then hit 3. So yeah, you have to hit sidestep right back and then do this. So yeah, I consider that a practice thing, and I think it's really worth it. All right, is Brawl Pro still streaming? Everybody always asks in my stream if Brawl Pro is streaming. What's up, Buffy? Dude, Keijo has 16k viewers. That's actually so crazy. He just ended. Oh, it's me. Hello. Oh, Amor. Nebluia. Dotson X. All right, Amor. I think we're gonna meet him at Evo. Meet them at Evo. Have a good night, everybody. Just a quick stream to upload that YouTube video. Please check out the latest videos. I've been working really hard on that. It would be great to have your support. And if not, fuck you. Hope you all have a good night. Thanks for hanging.